What you saying now?
Um, I think what when we talk about motivation, a big problem with a lot of people is they uh, they tend to lie to themselves, and they start to they actually start to believe it. It's hard for them to be honest with
Mm.
themselves about what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. They become prisoners of themselves. You
Mm.
know, they hold themselves back and they hold themselves hostage because they haven't learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, they lack the confidence in themselves because of something um, that they're hiding that they have to make peace with. And I think once people are able to accept whatever inside that they're afraid of or whatever they're lying about, and they start to become honest, it starts growth, you know. And once they come to terms with that, and they stop feeding the negativity, and to just learn to accept it, it starts to release a certain type of energy within them
Mm.
and an excitement. You know, it's like um, now everything is so instant gratification, instant success, and if they haven't accomplished something um, automatic or at a fast pace, that they tend to understand the effort that's required, the patience that's required, the building process. You can't skip over certain things and think that you're going to have long-term success. You have to. It's building block. It's stages. You know, the first stage is to find out who you are. The second stage is to make peace with who you are. And then the third stage is to help others find who they are. You know, and then once that's all done, then all you're going to see is growth. You know, if you look at nature, nature doesn't worry. One tree doesn't worry about what the next tree is doing. It just grows. You know, but people are so concerned with what the next person is doing that they're stagnating their growth. You know, you can't concern yourself with what others are doing. You have to do, as they say in the streets, you have to do you first, and that's a commitment to yourself. You know, that's being completely honest with yourself. You know, that's talking to yourself. That's interviewing yourself. That's learning your strengths and your weaknesses, and making peace. The things that you can change, you change it, and the things you can't change, you accept it. Because once you accept that, nobody can use that against you. And then once somebody doesn't have power over you, you grow. Because power is not meant to be contained.
Mm.
You know, so
Thank
that's
you,
pretty
Sin.
much.
Come on, Sin. The
that's
divine
pretty.
cycle
That's pretty
continues.
much. That's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. You know, if you say you really like somebody, you have to allow them to be honest with themselves, and you can't be afraid to be honest with them.
Mm.
If you see that they're, I just told somebody yesterday, it's all right, you know, to have a difference of opinion, or for you not to agree with something that I say. You know, don't lose your identity trying to relate to somebody else. You know, a lot of people walk around with identification cards but don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? So don't ever lose who you are just to please somebody else. You know,
Let's call the AOD. East Point Cottage. Call the AOD.
um, and that's it pretty much in a nutshell. You know, it's small steps. You know, I always say little things make perfection, but perfection is no little thing.
Mm.
You know, I mean that's key.
Mm.
You know that um, you just have to learn the first thing that's paramount is to be comfortable in your own skin. You know, a lot of people aren't comfortable in their own skin.
Mm.
You know, they're not comfortable with being who they are. You know, they're not comfortable with doing what they want for fear of others' opinions. You're always going to be a prisoner of other people. It's kind of like, you know, you're the television and you're giving them the remote. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
you can't go through life like that. You know, you have to always be in control of your reactions which is being in control of your emotions. Because if I wanted to control massive amounts of people, all I would have to do is get under their skin. And every reaction I get to control. If I want to make somebody angry, I'll just do that to get under their skin. But once you know who you are, nobody can do anything to make you act any way that you don't want to act. I think that's how people are easily manipulated. People get under their skins and they find what makes them tick and things that they try to hide. People are very good at controlling others people's energy, and you can't allow somebody to do that to you. And how do you control that? By controlling yourself. How do you control yourself? By making peace with yourself. How do you make peace with yourself? Finding out who you are. And how do you find out who you are? You find out what it is that you enjoy most, and when you find out what you enjoy most, you find your passion. And once you find your passion, you find your purpose, so I always believe it comes from within. Growth starts from within. It doesn't start by anything that you can obtain in the material world. You understand what I'm saying? If you want long-term success, you have to make a self-investment. That's key. And that's also key to motivating yourself. Never neglect yourself. Never do that. Never allow somebody to tell you who you are. You have to tell yourself. You have to believe in yourself. It comes from just taking time and make peace with whatever you got going on in your life that may have disappointed you, upset you. Don't hold on to anything. Don't hold on. Let it go. Let it go, because the same thing you've been holding on is the same thing that's holding you back. The same thing that you hold on to is the same thing that's holding you back. But I guarantee you, if you let that go, watch you grow.
If they can see my face. Ready to pass the collection plate.
This is what I love. I love talking to people, conversing with people, actually getting to know people, because you'll be surprised. Some people find things about themselves that they didn't even know. Once you start to get comfortable, then you're comfortable everywhere. And then you start to give off this energy that everybody wants to gravitate to. And you have to be selective with how you give off that energy, because some people just feed and they don't give anything back. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to learn, and you'll learn that because you'll be able to see people. There's a difference between seeing a person and looking at a person. You know what I'm saying? Most people, they look at somebody, but they don't see it for what it is. Everything is a rhythm. It's like music. Everybody has a pace in which they do things. That's why when somebody lies, there's an interruption in their normal melody, as I call it. Everybody has they have a rhythm that they go by, and when there's an interruption in that rhythm, you need to pay attention. A lot of times people don't pay attention and they be like, oh my God, I can't believe what happened. But there's signs everywhere. You need to pay attention to the sign. You need to call somebody on, hey, is everything all right? Something seems a little bit off. Sometimes you need to help people. Some people get so comfortable with lying that it's like second nature. And sometimes you need to call them on it. You don't have to tell them they're lying. You can just tell them, hey, it's okay. It's all right. I hear what you're saying, but what you're giving off doesn't match. Always make sure that the person that you say you are is the person you appear to be. That's key. That's important. I can't tell you that I'm X, Y, and Z. If somebody ever tells you the kind of person they are, trust me, you're going to see. And you got to make sure that the back of the book matches the whole entire book. You know what I mean? A lot of people will tell you things, and that's like the difference between a book and a movie. Oh man, it's completely different. It's completely off. You know, I'm always, whether I clock in or clock out, I understand my role, but
1 second, boo.
I understand.
I'm leaving.
Bye, baby.
I,
You heard?
Bye, boo.
Bye. You okay?
Yes, I'm recording something. Stan.
Okay, honey. I'll
All
see
right.
you tomorrow.
Bye.
you know, I understand my role. And another phrase that they use in the street, know your role. A lot of people don't know their role. You know, some people, you know, they want to be the star of the movie. You know what I mean? I'd rather be a director. You know what I'm saying? I have no interest in the glitz and the glamour. I'd rather be behind the scenes and develop people. You know, that's and I think that's actually my blessing. My blessing is to help. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not here for the credit. I'm here for the development of other people. You understand? Because once they have success, that's my success. You know, that's and a lot of people they don't understand that. You know, and that's cool. You know, I don't need you to pay me. You understand what I'm saying? I need you to grow. You know, and once you grow, if you can't help somebody, it's cool, but don't hurt them. You know, that's important. You know, and don't lie to them. You know, once I teach you how not to lie to yourself, don't lie to somebody else. You know, we have too much of that going on. You know, always, especially if somebody needs a helping hand. It doesn't cost anything to help anybody. Information is always available to those that are willing to share it. You know, we got to learn to be a lot more unconditional. You know, everybody always wants to see what can I get out of it. You know, how about a smile? You know, how about somebody feeling good? You know what I mean? I mean, I find it, you know, a laugh goes a long way. You never know how some people can just use a laugh, you know, and it's all started from just motivation, you know, and sometimes you can be a motivation and don't even know it. You know, you could just walk up and just your mere presence in a room could be motivation. You know what I mean? Just your energy that, you know, gives somebody the confidence to do something. You know why? Because, you know, sometimes people, they walk with this aura that allows somebody to be comfortable and to be confident, you know, but, you know, then they'll get into a different situation or a different area and they don't have the same energy, you know, because some people just take, but they never give anything. That's why you have to be careful. Sometimes you may find yourself feeling drained and defeated, and you're like, man, what's going on? Because you're surrounding yourself around people that they drain you of your energy, you know, and I don't think a lot of people understand that, you know, about people that, and it's real easy to find those people because all they do is they complain or they're never happy. You know, and that's something that they have to deal with, but you have to be careful when you're around it because it can affect your energy. You know, you have to understand that every loss is not a loss, it's a lesson. And it will keep repeating itself until you understand why it's happening. You know, I think that's why people go through life and they see the same things happen in their life because you didn't make peace with it. Two things you have to do in order to move forward. You have to accept and acknowledge. You have to accept the situation and acknowledge the situation. And people do either one or the other. And I don't think they realize that. You know, if something happens to you, and a lot of people, they say, okay, yeah, I see what happened. I see what happened. And they acknowledge what happened, but they don't accept it. So in turn, what happens in life is they get placed back in that same situation. You have to learn to make peace with it and let it go. You know, you can't bring back what happened yesterday. You can't even bring back what happened at 4 o'clock. What happened at 4 o'clock happened at 4 o'clock. But we got to learn about what happened, and we got to understand it, make peace with it, accept and acknowledge, and move forward. You know, that's key.
Thank you. Thank you, Stan.
Thank you.
Okay.